Good day everybody, my name is Ksenia Dukart and I am the data steward from IT Center RWTH Aachen. And this is the second video in the series of the AIMS tutorials. In the previous video, we looked at the interface of the AIMS and covered the possible options for creating an application profile. And today we will create application profile using extend option, and by using this example we will cover main properties for metadata fields. Then we will discuss what you need to pay attention to when submitting your profile to review. We start by searching for the base profile because it is the one that we will be extending. I will switch it to the English and we write base here. Now when we found base profile, we need to click on it, and in action in the edit menu you will find extend option. Here on the pop-up you just click continue, and now you will see edit application profile menu with them, where you can fix metadata for your application profile. So for this application profile I will give the name extend test, and also I will put it in the description. Also I add my name as a creator. Yeah, but please give a meaningful name and description for your application profile. Here in application profile URL you also need to change it. I mentioned the options on how to change it in the previous video of this series. So for now I just change it to extend test. But if you want to learn more, please go to the first video and then continue. Now you'll see this Show Relationship button in this detail view. Here you can look at the extend test application profile that we created and the inherited application profile, which is base profile. And you can close it with this Show Relationship button. Inherited application profile we can't change. It's just metadata fields that will be in your application profile. If you want to change or delete them also, you need to use this copy or new version option, but not an extend option. And if you use an extend option, you just can add new metadata fields, and that's all. And now we will look at the field properties that we have here. Field name, it's basically provide English and German translations for the title of your metadata field. Minimum required entries indicates whether the field is mandatory or not. If you want it to be mandatory, put 1 here, as we can see here also. Leaving minimum required entries blank means entering a value is not required. You can check if you really did mandatory field or not in this preview field. If it has this asterisk sign, then it's mandatory. Now maximum possible entries. It specify maximum number of values. Leaving maximum possible entries blank mean unlimited number of entries can be made. To show how it works, I will add to our current application profile our first field. It will be sample ID, for example, something random, and then I will put maximum possible entries for example 2 or 3. It's just showing how it works. And then we go to the metadata form, which is basically a preview, and if you can see I added something, and then I add the second row, and I can't add the third one because we specified the maximum possible entries here. Then goes position of the metadata form. Here you can configure the order in which fields are displayed. Property type. Here we will focus on the four important types. It would be data type, class, node and list. At first we will start with data type. As you can see, we have here this data type string for now. But AIMS has a lot of data types. I can show you here on this table that there are actually a lot of types to choose from. So you can find this table in our documentation. Here you will find everything that you need to know. For example, if you want date or time types, it would be this first row. Then if you need value-based types, it could be Boolean, float, or double, or even integer, or you always have strings. So I recommend using these types, but if you have specific consideration for selecting a type, you can make a custom choice. And now we will discuss list. So you need to choose here in property type list, and as you can see, you can just add entry, write name of this entry. For this I think create a new field. So we'll leave it as a string, previous one, and then we add a new custom term. It would be software, and I will create a list of software that will, for example, analyze some data. It would be R, MATLAB, or SPSS. If we go to the metadata form, this is how our list will look like. There are several advantages and disadvantages to using lists. They are easy to create, especially if they are small, and you can do it directly within AIMS. And also you can choose type of each of these list items. As you can see here in editor, you can switch types for each of the items in the list. However, there are some limitations to consider. You can't add translations to each other item of the list, and it could be time-consuming to create extensive lists. That's why we have another feature here. It calls classes. For example, in our base profile, we have some classes like subject area. And as you can see here is some link. This is actually a link to the vocabulary that is stored in the GitLab repository. Sometimes for lists you can use classes, sometimes lists. What is better in what case? I suggest using classes when dealing with a pre-established list of positions, such as, for example, all existing languages, possible instruments to measuring ECG, or PIs in your consortia. Classes are ideal for something universal, an entity that you or others may use in different application profiles. If you find yourself in this situation, you can submit the class you need by reaching out to the IT service desk via email. For other scenarios, I recommend using lists. Now we discuss property node. So for example, I already have this software and I also want to have details about this software. I already checked, for example, here that we have actually an application profile that has a name software, and it has a lot of metadata fields about software. So it would be nice not to create each field, all these fields again, but just to refer to this application profile from ours. For this, you will use node function. We need to go to this data type and change it to the node. Now we have property type node, and again you need to put a link here. So or link or the name of the application profile that you're searching for. And now we have software details. If we look at our preview and we click this plus, here is this application profile. So the node function is a way to referring one application profile through another ones. And also one of the important properties would be the description property from administrative properties here down. Please provide description and translation to it for as many fields as it's possible. And now let's discuss what do you do when you've completed an application profile. First thing is to check metadata form, because it's basically a preview for your application profile, and here you can look if everything works as intended, if you see each of the metadata fields, they are working properly or so. So it would be the first one. Then you can go to the Save button and download your code just to have a backup. As you can see, now you have actually two options. Download code and download code with imports. So download code, you just download code with metadata fields that you created, and this option with imports, it would be also, you will have also the code for the application profiles that you inherited from, and also the nodes that you added as a node. And then after all of this, you can click Submit button. First check if you fill out all metadata fields right, and then click Another Submit, and we will get a merge request with your application profile. The review process for the application profile may take up to 4 weeks. In this video, we've created an application profile using Extend option, covered main properties of the created metadata fields, and discuss the process of submitting an application profile. In the next and last video, we will look at the advanced field properties of this generator. Thank you and bye.